Welcome to another jam-packed episode of the Sports Card Nation podcast, the show that brings you all the important news from the sports card hobby. We'll have some debates, opinions, new release schedules, and info. Plus, we'll also discuss the sports that so directly affect the hobby we all love. We'll mix in an occasional gambling tip or two, throw in some life stuff, and bring you great guest interviews from the hobby and sports dignitaries. And if you're good listeners, we may even give away a few things now and then. Now, here's the guy who wanted the cards and not the gum, John Newman.
All right, welcome to Episode 7 of the Sports Card Nation podcast. Glad you're back. Glad to be back. We took a week off. Let's start off by saying Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2019. Obviously, if you're listening, you had a safe New Year, and we're happy about that. And we're glad you're with us still. Couple announcements. We get using some different program. So the audio should be a little bit cleaner. I know there's been some issues on some of the prior episodes, but we should be cleaning that up. And we don't have any guest interviews here in episode 7, but any future interviews we do should have a little higher quality to it. So that's a good thing. As we go along, we're going to be doing things to improve the show, and that's the way it should be. We're going to announce the Saquon Barkley Color Burst Phoenix rookie here in a little bit. And I also want to announce that we have a winner in the Jason Tatum Prism Scope Gold Label. And the lucky gentleman that won that card, nice card, BGS graded 8.5, or I should say 9. The gentleman that won that card is Todd Billings from Twitter. So Todd Billings, he's received that card already, posted on Twitter. So people really do win on SCNP. You know, remember the old saying, people really do win on MTV? Well, people really do win on SCNP, Sports Card Nation podcast. So we'll announce that Barkley winner here later in the show. And as always, thank you for listening to us. We know there's other things you could be doing besides that, and here you are. So thank you. All right, it's time to announce the winner of the Saquon Barkley Phoenix Color Burst Parallel Rookie that we gave away on episode 6, and how that worked, just to remind everyone, because we're going to be doing these in the future as well. But how that worked was, on episode 6, I mentioned a keyword to win the Barkley. That keyword was beast. Anyone who heard the word beast or knew the word, found out the word was beast, and they private message or emailed us that word, beast, for the Barkley, I put all those names on the randomizer. I rolled the dice. We came up a 7. I randomized that list 7 times to get a winner. And the winner of the Saquon Barkley is Joseph Selinsky from Twitter, and his Twitter handles at JoeZBD, at JoeZBD. So Joe, if you're listening, or if someone's nice and wants to tell Joe that he won the Saquon, you have to let us know that you won, and we'll get that thing in the mail and shipped out to you. So Joe Selinsky at JoeZBD of Twitter has won the Saquon Color Burst. So, Joe, let us know your address. We'll get that out, headed your way. Congratulations. Also, while there's no giveaway on this episode 7, I do plan on giving a prize away for episode 8. So stay tuned for that. We want people to we want the show to be interactive. We want you to kind of have a shot to win something, get something for free. Everyone likes that. So stay tuned. We love hearing from our listeners. Without you, there is no us. We encourage your thoughts and feedback, and we do care about what you think. We encourage you to reach out to us at any of our social media accounts, and they are as follows. You can get a hold of us on Instagram at Sports Card Nation Podcast. That's all one word, Sports Card Nation Podcast. Or our Twitter, which is at Sports Card Natty1, Sports Card NATI1. Or if you go to Facebook, you can search Sports Card Nation Podcast. That's 4 words, and you'll find us. Or you can email the show at sportscardnationpc@gmail.com. Also, please give us a follow. We really do appreciate that. Thank you. Check out our supporter, Break Stuff Market, your new innovative and global marketplace for trading cards, stickers, and sports memorabilia. They have some of the lowest fees on the market at only 4%. All their transactions are secure via PayPal and Stripe. It's easy to set up from any device, and they have some of the highest community and security standards to avoid being scammed. Don't wait. Join Break Stuff Market now. Go to https://breakstuff.market. All right, it's time for the hobby portion of the program. All right, so we're going to talk about the new releases first, and we're going to do the new release segment in a different format. We're going to do it by sport rather than by date, but we'll do it for the upcoming week. Since this is a weekly program, we'll just talk about what's coming up in the next week. So for baseball, just one thing, January 9th, 2018, Leaf Ultimate Baseball. For basketball, just really one thing on the horizon there. That's on the 11th of January. That's the 2019 Panini Dominion release. And for football, the one everyone's kind of talking about, and we're going to preview it here after mentioning it. It's January 11th. It's the Panini Contenders Football, the hobby version. Being told retail is actually out. I haven't seen it myself yet personally, but the hobby will come out January 11th, and it's going to be a hot product. Let's talk a little bit about what's in it. You got your rookie ticket autos, what they're famous for, as always. Boxes will contain 5 autograph cards, 18 packs. There's an insert card per pack, meaning you're going to get, if you open a box, you're going to have 18 insert cards. Like I said, 5 autograph cards per pack. That's a pretty good ratio. That's almost, it's 1.1 in every 3.5 packs. You will get an auto. So you're guaranteed 5 autos per box. One of those 5 will be an on-card auto rather than a sticker auto, guaranteed. Again, the rookie ticket RPSs are back as always. They got new rookie ticket stub RPSs, which is a short printed parallel, and it's die cut to look like a torn ticket stub. Rookie clear ticket RPSs, which are printed on clear acetate and includes an on-card autograph of the top rookies. You got playoff ticket, max number produced to 99. Championship ticket, max produced to 49. You got your cracked ice that we all love, numbered up to 24. Super Bowl tickets numbered 1 of 1. You have your variations as always, which will be, photo kind of variations. You have your gold parallels numbered to 10, your platinums numbered to 1. You have your rookie year contender autographs. They'll be numbered to 99 or less. You got your gold parallels numbered to 10 and platinum, one out of ones. And it's the 20th anniversary, so they're doing the 20th anniversary rookie ticket RPSs, paying homage to the original Contender rookie tickets of years past, which features on-card autos, Contenders to Canton autographs, numbered to 20, round numbers dual autographs, which will be 2 players on 1 card, both autographed. This one's really cool. Golden and silver tickets. This is exclusive to the hobby boxes. The gold tickets. I feel like Willy Wonka here. But the gold tickets are 1-on-1s. So there's only one of each of the 14 karat gold ticket cards. And the silver tickets are limited to 2 copies. So it'll be out of 2. So those are rare, obviously. Those are what you want to hit if you can. And this stuff's just loaded, and it is an expensive product. It does pre-orders right now are going anywhere between $210 and $225. So not cheap, but you got 18 packs, you got autos in every 3.5 packs, you guaranteed an on-card auto, and the stuff's loaded. I've seen, the pictures of what it looks like. It's really sharp. I'm definitely going to be opening some myself. The other thing I noticed is, the Contenders is always famous for the rookie autos, but I noticed in a lot of the spec sheets that I read and seen and got, there's a lot of veteran autos in these things too. So I've seen some Brady. I don't know. It seems like a little bit like Tom Brady signing a little bit more. I've seen some Brady autographs. Not that they're easy to get, but I've seen more than kind of come out recently with new releases than I have in years past. So I know there's a Brady autos in this thing. So you pull one of those, you'll be doing pretty good. But the product's really, I don't know. I've always been kind of a Contenders guy with football. And I also want to, since we're talking about, it is a rookie-infused product, and the rookie ticket autos are famous, and that's what it's known for. There's also 3 guys I noticed on the autograph checklist that I believe, don't quote me, but I believe it's their only autos that in any football product up until this point. That may change now, but they haven't appeared as autographed inserts in any other product yet. And they're all guys that are had either have a terrific season and their season's over, or they're playing in the postseason and playing well. And the 3 guys I'm talking about are Nick Mullins from the 49ers, quarterback. He's got a rookie auto. Gus Edwards from the Baltimore Ravens, running back. He's got a rookie auto in this. And Philip Lindsay, who's going to be in the mix for the Rookie of the Year voting, the running back from the Broncos. He's got a rookie auto in this too. And if I'm not mistaken, someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Those are their only autos up until this point. So if you want a Nick Mullins, Gus Edwards, or Philip Lindsay auto right now, Contenders is the only place to get. I'm sure that will change. As their performance went, people are starting to take notice. These products, these companies will start to put them get them in their products. So, but right now, Contenders is the only where to get those 3, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people after those. So, there's your release. Let me check. I don't know about non-sport. I don't do it personally, but I want to bring it to you. Hockey on January 9th. You got the Upper Deck 2019 trilogy. On January 9th, you've got Topps WWE Wrestling Road to WrestleMania. And it looks like, also on January 9th, the Upper Deck Marvel Deadpool trading cards, and on the January 11th, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary Duelist Sisters of the Rose booster. So that covers what's coming out in the next week or so. But I think the one I'm going to be the most interested in personally is going to be that Panini Contenders Football. So happy hunting out there. All right. On our Twitter page, we put up a poll this past week asking our followers to vote. 2 choices. The better football product versus each other. And the head-to-head was Panini Optic, or I should say Donruss Optic football, or Panini Prism football. Full disclosure, I like them both. I opened actually a pretty good amount of both products. I like them almost equally. But I wanted to see what you folks thought was the better football product. It was a close vote. Prism won 53% to 47%. Gun to my head, if I had to pick one, I would have went the opposite way of what the listeners said. I would have went with Optic over Prism. I like them both. That's not me saying I don't like Prism. That's just me saying I like Optic slightly more. One of the big draws, one of the things I love about the Optic is the rated rookies. Everyone, that's not even relegated to football. Rated rookies are, kind of famous. We know that logo, and there's something about them in that chrome of the Optic. When pull, obviously Barkley's the one to get there, and pulling that rated rookie chrome Barkley, there's something about that. I think that's cool. The rated rookie autos, obviously, are what you really want to get. Those things are always in demand. So I give by a nose, I give it to Optic. Prism in its own right is a great product as well. I opened plenty of that this year too. Again, they have the colored parallels in that as well, the autos, the hollows and all that. The one thing I think, and I like football cards and the sport better than basketball, but Prism really kind of made its niche in the basketball. I think when you hear Prism, I think you immediately, your mind automatically goes to basketball, not necessarily football. So that's another reason I kind of lean Optic. I think and as nice as the Prism football product is, the card values don't seem to be in the same stratosphere as the Panini, as the Prism basketball. So, I voted Optic, but I'm good either way. I like both products. Like a lot of you, I'm a fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V. You can call him an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, although I think he'd tell you he doesn't really consider himself a motivational speaker per se. But I really enjoy his podcasts, his Instagram videos and that sort of thing. When I first started listening to him, he kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, and the more I listened to him, the more I could relate to him. And then there's something I didn't know initially, was we kind of have, I'm not comparing myself to Gary Vee in any stretch of the imagination, but we kind of have similar backgrounds. He started in his teens selling sports cards, and I did that as well. I was doing shows and even flea markets at 14, 15, 16 years old. So when he talks about cards every once in a while and how he kind of got his start in it, I can definitely relate to it. And a lot of his business things and tips and strategies, I honestly try to incorporate them in everything I do, not just sports cards, but in my real job and in real life. And I have to be honest, I think a majority of what he tells you is accurate and works. But the reason I brought him up is he recently has kind of started talking about sports cards more, and about getting kind of back into it on a higher scale. He didn't really go into specs what he meant by that. I don't know if that means maybe opening a business. He kind of kept it vague. He just says he wants to get back into sports cards on a I think the way he worded it was grander scale. What that means, I don't know. So I'm curious to those of you that follow him, that know about him, know a little bit about the history and backstory there. What do you think he means? Is he want to open up a store? Wants to just have an online presence? I know, he was rumored when Topps was for sale, which I'm assuming maybe they still are. I don't know if it was wishful thinking by people in the industry, but he was kind of be rumored to be a potential buyer of Topps. I would be all for that. I think he'd take them, even if you think it's not possible, to another level. You got a guy who collects cards, buys cards, who knows the industry, who's, let's be honest, let's be real, he's known for building businesses up and getting them headed in the right direction. So can you imagine, Gary V buys Topps and puts his ideas on, they come to life in cardboard form. So I don't know, when he mentioned about getting back into cards on a different level or a grander scale, as he mentioned it, I'm not sure if he was alluding to maybe trying to buy Topps again or getting involved with Topps or even another company. I don't know what he kind of left it vague, and he left it there, and he didn't elaborate any. So if you either heard something or you have any kind of theories to what he's alluding to, I'd be as curious as anyone to hear what you think of what Gary V means about getting back into cards on the grander scale. The show has grown, and we are very appreciative of that fact. If you are a business, a dealer, a breaker that would like to partner with us, please reach out to us at one of our social medias or email the show at sportscardnationpc@gmail.com. That's sportscardnationpc@gmail.com. We have many affordable options to promote and highlight the services you provide. We look forward to hearing from you and collaborating with you in the future. All right, time for the sports segment of the program. Going to be a heavy dose of football right here. You got the NFL playoffs starting this weekend, and then you got, as we all know, Monday, the college football championship, which is a great matchup, 1 versus 2, Alabama versus Clemson, stellar offense versus stellar defense. You got an Alabama team that now has an offense. Traditionally, we know Alabama's built on their defense. They've always had kind of a game manager quarterback, and they win these national championships. Now they got a high-powered offense, a pretty good defense, and they've been pretty much steamrolling everyone. You got a Clemson team that may have the best defense in the nation. You definitely have the best front seven with 3 or 4 guys projected to be all first-round picks in the NFL draft. So what's going to give here? The defense versus the high-powered offense. Traditionally, when you have a matchup like that, it's usually the defenses win out. Alabama's the defending champ. As you remember last year, they came back to defeat Georgia, to hoist that crystal ball. This is going to be a tough game. I believe the spread at the time of the show is 6 points in favor of Alabama. I think this is going to be a 1-score game. for a final, but I believe it could go either way. If you're asking me to pick, and I am going to make a pick here, man, it's tough, but I'm going to go with Alabama, and let me tell you why, rather than just say that. You got an experience. Now, I know he hasn't played a ton, but you got Tua Tagovailoa, who came in last year when Hurts got hurt and led Alabama to come back to win that Georgia game and that national championship. And you got Trevor Lawrence on the other side, Clemson, who's very good. This is a kid that's going to be playing on Sundays in the NFL, probably sooner than later. And I think he's going to be very good, even on that level as well. So he's no slouch either. I think the difference here, folks, is going to be you have a more polished quarterback in Tua, who's been on this stage as recently, obviously, as last year. And you got Trevor Lawrence, for as good as he is, he's still as young. You got to remember, almost a year ago, he was playing on high school fields. And this is the big stage with the hot lights and the heat of the moment. I'm not saying he's going to do bad, but I just think the more experienced, someone who's kind of been there, done that, is going to rule the day. Now, what gives Clemson the chance that I'm giving them? It's that defense. And again, Trevor Lawrence is a very good quarterback. He's no slouch in his own right. So, again, if Clemson wins this game, I won't be shocked. But that defense, we just saw what they did to Notre Dame's undefeated season. Right down the drain. So their defense is going to give them a very good chance to upend Alabama. Many pundits and experts are predicting a Clemson win. Again, it's a tough one to call. It's going to be fun to watch, that's for sure. I'm going to go with Alabama. Let me give a score. I think it might be lower scoring than a lot of people think. I'm going to go 24-17. 24-17 Alabama. The experience of Tua over the not as much experience over Trevor Lawrence. Clemson's defense keeps it close, makes it a game, but I think Alabama repeats and holds up that crystal trophy once again. All right, now to the NFL. It's wild card weekend. Let's start with the Saturday games. You got the Indianapolis Colts and the resurgent Andrew Luck versus the upstart Houston Texans with the multi-versatile Deshaun Watson. This is another tough game to call. Houston favored by 1.5. Again, I can see either team winning. Texans are obviously at home, being they won their division. But Andrew Luck, is to me, he's the MVP of the 2018 NFL season. I don't know if he'll actually win the award, but if I had a vote, that's where I would go with it. So, again, Houston favored by 1.5 at home. And if you know anything about gambling, home teams usually get 3 points. So the Las Vegas guys here are kind of saying the Colts are sort of 1.5 point favorites, but they're giving those 3 points to Houston at home, and that makes them 1.5 favorite. Man, another tough game to call. All right, I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts. I think a turnover late by the Texans cost them this ball game, and Andrew Luck gets enough done to come out with the W. So I'm going Colts over Texans. The second game on Saturday is the Seattle Seahawks going to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Both 10-6. Dallas is a 2-point favorite here. There's some great games this weekend. If you're a football fan, you're going to be in heaven. Unless you're me and you're a Steeler fan, and right now you're in fan hell. But it is what it is. I still love football, and these games are great. that's another tough game. Again, logic tells you to take the home team, but I'm buying into a little bit of the Pete Carroll magic here in the experience, and I'm not a big Jason Garrett fan. I don't think he's a great coach, and I think this might be a situation where Pete Carroll schools the young guy and out coaches him in a game that really matters here. So I'm going to take the Seahawks in another nail biter. So I'm going to go Colts in the first game, Seahawks in the second, both road underdogs. So I'm going with 2 road underdogs on Saturday. So let's go to the Sunday's games. You got the first one, which is the Chargers and the Ravens. And Baltimore is favored by 2.5 points. And, you're probably going to say, well, John's a Steeler fan. He's going to pick against the Ravens because he can't stand them. And, well, guess what? You're right. I am going to pick against the Ravens. But it has nothing to do because of my feelings for them or about them. I just think, Phillip Rivers hasn't had great postseason success. I'm not really a believer in Lamar Jackson at this point. He's really kind of a one-dimensional guy. He's not very accurate passing. I think San Diego's going to devise a game plan where they're going to try to contain Lamar Jackson. And if he's going to win this game and win it for the Ravens, he's going to probably have to utilize his arm as well. And I don't know if he's ready for that yet. You got the experience of Rivers. While that postseason success hasn't been there, he's got a lot of games under his belt. And the Chargers score a lot of points. This is a 12-4 team. The Ravens are 10-6. They got kind of hot late. Don't forget, John Harbaugh's seat was really heating up. I mean, his pants were on fire, and there was reports that he was getting fired, and now they're talking extension. So from in a matter of 3-4 weeks, John Harbaugh went from being unemployed to having his contract extended. I'm going to go with the Chargers here, and I know that Baltimore's favored by 2.5. I'm going to give them almost a double-digit win, and again, I could be wrong, but I think the Chargers pull away late, win by 10, 12 points, and the Ravens' dream run ends at home in Baltimore. So I'm going to go with the Chargers. The second game of the Sunday's wild card round features the Eagles and Bears. And I've done 3 games so far, and I'm looking, and I've basically taken 3 road dogs. And here you got another road dog in the Eagles at 9-7. They kind of snuck in the back door. Someone left it open a little bit, and they kicked it in. And here they are, the defending Super Bowl champs that don't want to give up that Lombardi just yet or want to make another run for it. They're 6-point underdogs on the road to the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to break the trend here. I'm going with the Bears here. I think the home favorite wins one of these 4 games, according to me. Probably going to be more than that, but that's just where my heart's telling me to go. I think the Bears win. I know Nick Foles has got them playing lights out right now, even causing the debate to whether Carson Wentz should get his job back or what the Eagles should do. I think the Nick Foles magic runs out. I think maybe the game is close early, but I think that Bears defense with Roquan Smith and Khalil Mack, and I'm not a huge Trubisky fan, but I got to give him credit. He's playing well. That team's kind of firing on all cylinders. I'm going to go with the Bears at home. So we got the Bears, according to me, we got the Bears, Chargers, Seahawks, and Colts. 3 road dogs and 1 home favorite. So it's going to be some great football between the college and NFL games. I know I'm excited. I'm assuming you are too, so it should be interesting. Lasting 25 years in any industry is impressive. Lasting 25 as a sports card store is rarely seen. But Newman Sports Cards has been doing just that since 1992, providing excellent customer service and a great selection of rookies, autos, game used, and graded cards. Recently, they added wax products and supplies to their arsenal. To find them, just Google search Newman Sports Cards or follow them on Instagram at Newman Sports Cards. Well, that's it for episode 7. I want to wish everybody a... And the other thing nice about the new year, and it's not just with sports cards, but it's kind of an opportunity to clean the slate, start fresh. Whatever happened the previous year, you let it go. You kind of let bygones be bygones. Maybe you had a disagreement with somebody, give them a call. You know, even if it's not saying you're sorry, but just kind of try to move past that. If you made a mistake, it's an opportunity to forgive yourself, let it go, just not repeat it in the coming year. And when it comes to cards, it gives you an opportunity to set new goals for the coming collecting season. Maybe you want to collect a different player. Maybe you want to sell a certain player and go in a different direction with your collection. Maybe you want to try to collect a different sport or do something different. It's an opportunity to kind of wipe the slate clean, set some goals and go after them and do it. And it also gives you an opportunity to learn from your mistakes from the previous year as well. I myself am a notes guy. I'm always writing notes down. And one thing I do, and I do it now with the podcast, and I do it now with even my side business with the sports cards. Every year I kind of set up a budget for the year, things I want to do, goals I want to reach, maybe cards I want to acquire each and every year. And each year, obviously, like most, I try to set the bar higher. You know, some goals you reach, some goals you might fall a little short, but that's the fun of it all. But doing that gives you something almost kind of a scorecard, something to aim for, something to shoot for, something that gives you some initiative, some motivation of things you want to do for the coming year, whether it be in the sports card hobby industry or just life in general. I think it's always good to set goals and things you want to do and reach for. So with that being said, once again, we'd like to thank you for being on this ride with us. Set those goals, reach for those goals. That's going to be a wrap for episode 7 of the Sports Card Nation podcast. Look for episode 8 a week from today. We should have a special guest joining us for an on-air interview. As always, thank you. That's it. We'll see you in a week.